You're not lazy. You're just carrying around immense pressure that no one else can see. And for some reason, you still believe that you can do this all on your own. I'm DEMOND Logan, a high-performance coach specializing in mindset transformations for professionals looking to lead stronger, execute faster, and grow their business. And in this video, what I'm going to talk about is how burnout is not based on how much you're doing, it's based on how much you're hiding. Now, let's take a deeper look and see what's going on. Let's develop. There's three things I want to talk about. The first one is silent exhaustion. Now, there's three characteristics of silent exhaustion. The first thing I want to talk about, the invisible expectations. This invisible expectations are when hidden pressures that are wearing you down. When I talk about these hidden pressures, what I'm saying is that these are pressures that you are taking situations that are going in your life. You're taking your responsibility. You're taking the actual pressure of the situation and you are altering it. What I mean by altering it is that you are making it something bigger than what it really is. As in, you think that if I don't do it exactly like this, exactly this fast, exactly that way, then what happens? I'm going to let everybody down. And most times people that are actually truly dependent on you are not looking at it like that. It's okay to go through this as a human experience and do the best you can. And your best is actually good enough. But what you do is you create this extra pressure that is really bogging you down and it impedes your progress and impedes your speed forward. The next thing that I want to talk about is emotional masking. Emotional masking is constantly pretending that you're okay. Being a leader, there are going to be times and there are going to be moments where, of course, you can't let everybody know that you're feeling how you're feeling. You can't be vulnerable with the whole world and maintain the integrity and maintain their faith in you. Yes, this is true, but the problem is you create no space in the world for you to be able to let those emotions out, to talk, to work through it. You have not created a safe space where you can let that out and not feel like you're going to compromise your position or be judged. You need this at all times to let it out, because what you're denying is that you are a human being and that you still deal with the human condition. And once you deny the fact that you have the human condition, what happens is you start to stunt, you start to hold back, and you start to fall short on your development, because the human condition is something that you're going to need to be able to factor in so that you can work the process, grow and develop, grow and develop, grow and develop. But when you pretend like all of those real life things that are really holding you back are not there, then you have a shortfall and you fall short of what the actual goal is. And actually you do not improve at how you improve. And what happens? You feel trapped. You feel like you can't share. You feel like you don't know what to do. You feel like you're drowning when that's not even the case. The truth is that you have to acknowledge that you're human, and it's okay to be human. You will gain your strength through your humanity. Another thing that I want to talk about is over-responsibility. The interesting thing about over-responsibility is that over-responsibility is when you make everything about you. And what I mean by that is you have this belief that everything depends on you, that everything requires you to get the job done. And if you can't get the job done, it can't be done by anybody else but you. So if you don't do it, it won't be done. Now, the thing about this is that often what you do is you create this narrative in your mind, and then you start to create the condition to match the narrative. Meaning you start to put systems in place where all of a sudden, all of your team and your employees and the people that you have in place, you do not give them permission to make decisions. They have to run everything by you, and you become your own bottleneck, and you become overwhelmed and stressed. You become frustrated, and it is actually all your fault because you made the system about you to fit this narrative that you have to make the decision. You have to be the one to get it done. And what happens? You start to wear thin because you have created a condition that is hard to maintain in the long run. The next thing that I want to talk about is flow, not force. Flow, not force is what's going to allow you to run the long race, like the marathon race. That's going to be all about your flow, not force. Let me give you an example. A piece of flow, not force is going to be your sustainable drive. A sustainable drive is about having a balanced and consistent action. Like balanced and consistent action is what your sustainable drive is going to be about. Now, let me tell you exactly how that works. That says that you have to go at a pace that you can consistently keep. And it's not about short stops and doing these sprints. It's about setting a condition where you can stay consistent and always be on pace to get it done, and not this back and forth, because when you keep doing this back and forth, the sprints slow down. Sprints slow down. Eventually, you are going to not sprint as fast, and you're going to get less done, less accomplished, and you're going to start falling behind and start feeling the pressure of needing to go faster because you did not prepare for the long game. You did not start your business because you wanted it to end tomorrow. You started a business that you wanted to be able to provide resources for you and others for years to come. When you started your business, you said that you had one of two ideas. Either you were going to grow this business and pass it on from generation to generation, or you were going to grow this business to sell it. But either way, it was never going to happen tomorrow. So you have to plan for the long game, and you have to understand that it's not a sprint. It is a consistent pace that I can consistently add value to. When we talk about having a sustainable drive, you also have to talk about the purposeful pace. When we factor in what a purposeful pace is, we have to think about a few different metrics here. One, how far are you from the goal that you have right now? The next point is, how fast do we need to get there? Like, not that how fast you want to get there, but how fast do you need to actually get there, right? And we need to know the difference between that, because I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire tomorrow. Well, you're not going to be a billionaire tomorrow. So if you want to be a billionaire, what is a reasonable amount of time that you could think that you could be a billionaire? And what do you have to do to aggressively start to make those changes to get there, so that you could design the pace that is a purposeful pace, a pace that you know and can believe in and can maintain and account for your level of development along the way. The other part that's going to go along with being able to sustain a drive, having a purposeful pace, is doing energy audits. Energy audits is where you do regular checks of yourself, and it's really like an efficiency check. That's what energy audits really are. They're efficiency checks where you're going to say, hey, am I wasting energy anywhere? Am I doing it is this truly the appropriate pace that I'm running at? Do I find that I'm wearing thin and I can't, because I'm human, and it's okay to be human, right? So when we take all of these pieces into account, we're going to really check ourselves and make sure that we are not putting it on ourselves where we're going to ever be depleted. We're not going to run ourselves all the way down, because we have checked, maintained, kept the balance, rested when we needed to rest, and we made time. That we are not infinite, we are finite creatures. So we have to make conditions that, yes, sleep is relevant. I know everybody wants to talk about, I'll sleep when I die, but yeah, that's stupid, right? And I've said this before, because if you actually want to be able to run the long game, you have to be in a place where you're going to meet the demands of success, but also meet it in a way that you can consistently maintain. The third major point I want to talk about here is true resilience. True resilience is broken up into a few different things. First is I'm talking about boundaries as strength. In order to focus on your goal, you have to be in a position where you create boundaries, right? You have to protect this piece. You have to protect the space. You have to protect your focus so that you can apply it. Because it's just like this. An example that I use on my clients is, let's say you run a water through a hose, right? And you're running a water through a hose and it's a big hose, or let's say that it's running through a hose that has a bunch of different outlets, like 5 different places that the water is going to come out from. Well, when it splits up like that, when it comes out the hole, it just kind of falls down. There's no ground being covered, because you're so divided that you can't apply enough energy in any one way to reach further. But let's say you remove all of those from the hose, and then you put a nozzle on the hose that takes the hole that the water hose is, and you put it into something that's this small, right? And when you turn it on, because you put all of your focus here and you didn't allow it to go any other way, you created force. And that force shoots further because the water is going to go a lot further now because all of it is concentrated and focused in one area to actually make impact. So you have to have these boundaries in place in order to make impact, because when you spread yourself too thin, you will always, and I mean always fall short, because the strength is in the singular focus, not in the distractions. Next thing that you have to have are recharge rituals, right? You have to have them. You have to have a moment where you recharge. So like, for example, so what I do in my space is I have my day broken down, right? My day generally starts between 3:30 a.m. And then I have my time blocks. This is what I'm doing at this time. This is what I'm doing at this time. This is what I'm doing at that time. And then I have my family time. And then I have a time that I'm supposed to go to bed so that I can have enough sleep. And even throughout the workday, I have little 15-minute breaks where I just take a break, reset my mind, clear my thoughts, decompress, separate, and then come right back into it. So every time I'm in a state of action, I am taking massive action, and the value of the action is so strong. Think of it like a race car. Think of it like you're racing. And you know how they have to make a pit stop? Because they have to have that recharge, whether it's gas, whether it's tires, or whatever else they do. Wipe the windshield to make sure everything is clean and clear and you can see. All of this stuff is what allows every time that you're in your action state for your action state to be the most effective that is going to be. So you have to be mindful and you have to be aware of that. The next thing I want to talk about is operating from overflow. Now, operating from overflow is giving from abundance and not depletion. All of this, when I said true resilience, all of these characteristics of true resilience are relevant to being able to give from abundance. So that means that you have corrected this pace and you have put yourself in a position where every time you're able to do something, you're able to give your all into it, because you have curated, one, what you're going to give to, and second, what you're going to do. You have curated exactly what am I giving energy to, and when I'm there, what am I doing? So every time I'm able to give it all, not that I spread myself so thin that I'm depleted whenever I'm doing anything. So when I'm talking about abundance, I'm talking about abundance of that creative, that forceful, that developmental energy that you have that is really designed to change your business and change the world. Because if you allow yourself to ever get completely depleted, you cannot be a strong, impactful leader, not to the best of your ability. You will not execute fast, not to the best of your ability. And you will not grow your business to the best of your ability because you never took the time to acknowledge the fact that you're a human being and there's a human condition. And to maintain the high value output that you're looking to maintain for the long game, for the long haul, you have to be prepared to put the work in a way that is built for consistency, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. What I want to say right now is that you don't need to break down in order to break through. You don't need to ignore the fatigue in order to accomplish the goal by pretending that you are not a human being and infinite. Now, let me also be very clear. I'm not saying seek comfort, but I'm saying understand what is needed. Not talking about just wants. I'm talking about what you actually need to stay in the fight. And yes, it won't be comfortable, but it will be efficient and you will be maximizing your productivity. Now, as always, let me tell you what I want you to do. I want you to comment. What is the thing that you are going to really calibrate yourself on? Where is that area in your life that you feel that you are overextending yourself? Let us know. So I have a video that further goes deeper into the pain that no one sees that would be very impactful, and it builds with this video that this video builds on top of. So if you really want to get a further expansion of this concept, check out that video. Next thing, what we do is we want to take it to the next level for you. So in every video, we provide a worksheet that allows you to really work through this concept and really start to integrate it into your life. And as always, if you're looking to elevate yourself, if you're looking to truly grow where you are right now, feel free to click the link and come see us, and we will be here for you and show you how we can help you take your leadership, take your performance, and take your business to a different level, because you are the different level, right? And as always, remember, I don't care what it is, everything can be solved with development.